Welcome back, everybody. It's your time to EdUp and the EdUp Experience podcast, where we do what? You know what I'm going to say. We make education your business, and we do that by interviewing bright, amazing, talented, and intelligent people in and around higher education. Where am I doing that? That's a great question. I'm doing that here at the Engage Summit. What did you say?
Engage!
It's the Engage Summit, Element451 in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's a beautiful day outside. It's a beautiful day to talk about higher education. I've met a lot of beautiful people, and we're going to have a great conversation about how we help students. And I don't know what, some of the barriers, some of the troubles, some of the struggles, some of the things that we deal with on a daily basis as higher ed administrators, faculty, staff. And I'm going to do that with an amazing guest. And I'm going to bring her to the microphone right now. She's not nervous. She's a pro. She's telling me. Ladies and gentlemen, she's Courtney Skiles, and she's the Director of Recruiting and Admissions at Trinity Valley Community College. Courtney, what is up?
I'm great. How are you?
I am good. Are you ready for this?
I am ready for this.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
Live in the now!
You just got to go with it, right?
Yep, you got to roll with the punches.
Tell us a little bit about Trinity Valley Community College. Where are you located? Who do you serve? How do you serve them?
Well, some of you might recognize the name Trinity Valley Community College. We were on the Netflix Emmy-nominated, award-winning TV show Cheer.
Excellent.
Yes, and so if you haven't watched it, it's still on Netflix. It's a great show. Go check us out. We're primarily on season 2, but we do make a few cameos in season 1 as well.
No marketing like that marketing.
No
Nice
marketing
job.
like Netflix. That's right. But we are located in Athens, Texas. That's where our main campus is. That's kind of an hour east of Dallas, about 45 minutes south of the Metroplex, rural East Texas. And we have 5 campuses spread throughout that area.
Okay, and so who do you typically serve?
Everybody. Isn't that the game of community colleges?
Yeah.
Kind of everybody and nobody. We have about 48% of our population, our current student population, is dual credit. And I
So
think
a lot of high school students?
a lot of high school students. And I think a lot of community colleges, especially in Texas, are seeing a shift towards that demographic. We do a lot of workforce. Some of our most popular programs are welding, and we have plumbing and electrician and cosmetology and a lot of health science programs. And so that's, I would say, our biggest draw in the workforce department. And so that looks like a lot of different types of students, adults, people rejoining or leaving the workforce and coming back to school to reskill, or, young people fresh out of high school just trying to get a job and go into the career field. So
the trades are important, right? And
Yes.
we talk about this a lot on the podcast because, what used to be where you could find somebody to come fix your HVAC or, come be an electrician. You can't find those people anymore. There just aren't as many people going into those types of careers,
right.
or at least there weren't. And now it feels like the pendulum might be shifting back, especially as you look at AI and technology and, all these technology careers everywhere. And it's like, well, somebody's going to have to become an electrician and they're going to have a whole lot of money to make. Do you see that shift at all, especially with technology, or do you see more people interested in the technology programs themselves, or is it going back to the trades?
You kind of see both with this current demographic of, the students who are graduating high school right now. I think they are more so conditioned to go straight into a more technology-based field, whether that be going into design or media or communications or, going into analytics and data. I think that is more of a, I'm a Gen Z leader. I'm kind of the earliest of the Gen Zs. And we were that digital native era. And we kind of were born with that in our hand. And that's where we're drawn to. But I do see this swing of people who are like, oh, maybe that's not working for me, or they've been in a specific skill set for so long that it's either becoming irrelevant and they're having to come back and learn something new to keep themselves relevant in the workforce.
Epic.
I don't know if you saw it, but there was an advertisement. Yeah, I think I saw it on Instagram for a camera, a point-and-click camera, like the ones, the Kodak camera that you wind up and you click the button and it says, you're not going to get the picture right away. Right. You're going to have to hold on to it. It's going to be a nice surprise. You get 29 pictures, and then later you can go download those pictures onto your computer, onto your phone. But, it's the surprise of taking this around. It's like when I was in college, I walked around with a Kodak point and click camera. Now it's coming back around. And so you wonder if the same type of cyclical nature is hitting higher education. The reason I bring that up is because there are people that are saying higher ed's not worth it anymore.
Right.
But it's not worth it. Go into the trades or get a non-credit credential of some kind. And it can become very confusing for people on how to navigate. Do I get a degree? Do I get a non-credit credential? Does it stack? Does anybody know what the heck this is if I do get it? How do you work through that at Trinity Valley Community College as you deal with students to help them understand the options available to them? Because there's so many.
Well, rural education, you have the concept of educational deserts where there's few and far between colleges, or there's limited ways that people can access higher education.
Yikes!
Internet access is a huge issue for us. We don't have all the broadband and the high speed. So online education isn't as much of a resource that we can really leverage to our ability to stay relevant to these students.
Do you still have a lot of people and adults that just don't have readily available Wi-Fi access?
Yes.
Because for most people, you go, are you kidding me? Like, I'll go here, I'll go there, I'll go here, and I got Wi-Fi in every store I walk into. That's not reality.
That's not
for
reality
for students in a rural environment.
Right, exactly. And so in especially being out in a rural area and trying to get students to come to college, I think the conversation for so many generations surrounding college is you go and get a bachelor's degree and then you go get a desk job. And it's kind of retraining this generation of students that's coming forward and trying to enroll or doesn't even know that college is an option for them, that higher education doesn't necessarily look like a bachelor's degree or a master's degree and then going and getting a desk job. Higher education could be, we offer occupational skill awards that are just a couple of week courses. Become a phlebotomist, learn a specific computer program in a couple of weeks. That is higher education. Getting a doctorate is higher education. Anything that you are doing to further your education, we want to be a provider for. And going to 18-year-olds, going to 40-year-olds, going to 60-year-olds and trying to explain that to them looks very different, but it's something that we're trying to do to keep ourselves relevant to these students.
Yeah, you said it really well, because there's so many choices. What we do understand in higher ed, or anybody who's thinking about higher ed, is we get bachelor's degree, master's degree, doctoral degree. It comes with law and order, which we like structure as human beings. And there's been lots of structure around those elements for years and years. Then when you start to break those down, you go micro credentials or skill stacking or credit or non-credit, everybody goes, what the heck is going on?
Exactly.
Right. And it's hard to get around. And then you get the employers into the mix. What do I recognize? What do I take? Do I need a degree? Do I not need a degree? And then we're still trying to recruit. We're still trying to recruit you, student, to Trinity Valley Community College in a way that you see the meaning of higher education and you continue on to complete your degree. So you have to convince people twice. Right? Once, yes, come to higher ed. Two, come to Trinity Valley. That's a hard job.
It is a hard job. Yeah. And once you get them there, you obviously want them to stay and to continue to stack on those credentials.
Yes.
Get an occupational skill award, get that micro credential, then get the associates, then get the bachelor's. Oh, look, we can transfer you to a university.
Yeah.
We're one of the few community colleges in Texas that offers a bachelor's of science in nursing. And that in and
That's
of
a great
itself,
program, by the way.
yeah, is a stackable credential. So it's a lot of, yes, come to TVCC, we're so cool, look, we were on Netflix, ooh, shiny, the trying to promote the college atmosphere and that kind of university feel. But it's also this mission of educating students of what is this going to do to impact your career? Because that's a lot of the conversation that these students are having is, I could go anywhere. I could go online. I could move to Dallas. I could, move to overseas. And why should I come to you?
Right.
We have to have something special to offer our students. And me, as being a new director of recruiting and admissions, my goal is to educate students about
amazing,
what's out there for them.
So tell me what the difference. We like to get pretty tricky with our terms in higher education. What's the difference between recruiting and admissions? For somebody that's going, recruiting and admissions, it's kind of the same thing, isn't it?
A lot of colleges do roll them into one function. I talk to so many people in the field who, oh, I'm an admissions specialist, and then they're at a recruiting fair. And it's, for us, it's two different functions. I feel like recruiting is a physical a physical operation of marketing. You know, you want to kind of be the salesman out in the field making the sell. Whereas for me, admissions is more of the logistical, all right, let's get you going. Let's start this process.
Mm-hmm.
My recruiters have to be able to tell a story. My admissions specialists have to be able to seal the deal and you know, sign off on the dotted line.
So you've created a sales process almost, if you will.
Kind of, yeah. For the students that we're trying to get to come to Trinity Valley, it's a lot of telling our stories and helping them feel inspired that they can do it too.
Mm-hmm.
My recruiters have to be able to do that to a lot of different types of people. They have to almost be this fluid role, and it changes on the season, it changes on the day, it changes on, you know, what angle the moon is that night, you know.
It does. The tides.
Yeah, the tides
Changes by the tides.
Nailed it. And so my admissions people are more of my steady constants. They're there working behind the scenes, and that admissions process, while it does ebb and flow and change as technology changes, they're always going to be that backbone. You know, this is point A to point B. Once we get them through admissions, then it's all right, let's get them into advising, let's get them through financial aid, let's, you know, continue this process until we get to the finish line, which is graduation.
Okay, so you're all the way here from Texas, and you're in North Carolina. What brought you to the Engage Summit? Why did you decide to come?
Well, we have been Element partners for about 2 years now.
Fantastic.
And we have absolutely loved our experience. We didn't get to go last year. It was, we just did virtual. It was kind of a last minute thing for me. We had some turnover and
virtual's great, but it ain't the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same as being here and talking to people who are in the system using it. Yeah.
Exactly. And I wanted to learn. And since I am now just a year into my role as director of recruiting and admissions and have been our Element kind of person for a year, I wanted to come and just kind of check it out and meet everybody and talk to the people that I've been working with for 2 years now and meet some new people that maybe can help me do my job better.
So is this are you new as the director of recruiting and admissions?
Yes.
And how long you've been doing college admissions in general?
So I graduated from TVCC myself in 2018. And I had such a phenomenal and transformative experience as a community college student at TVCC that when I left, I thought, you know, I really want to do what those people did for me. I felt like I was so, like those people who worked at TVCC were so helpful and instrumental in my development that I left and I didn't have the vocabulary to say I want to work in higher education. I didn't even know what that was.
Like everybody else who works in higher ed, you know, go, I want to work in higher ed. It's
exactly. Yeah. And I think it's funny because growing up, I never could tell someone what I wanted to do. You know, they ask kids, what do you want to do when you grow up? I never had an answer until I graduated from TVCC and I said, that's what I want to do. And so I went to the University of Texas at Tyler and I started undergrad and I got a call one night. I was probably 21 years old and they said, hey, we have a job opening up as a recruiter. Would you like to come back to TVCC?
Yes.
Exactly. 100%. And so I pretty much immediately started. So I was really only a year out of TVCC before I came back as a recruiter.
Wow.
And I've been there ever since. It's, I guess, been probably close to 4 years now. And I'm obviously, you know, on a very traditional college timeline, so I'm only 25 in this role, and it's been a whirlwind and a crazy learning experience, but I love it and I wouldn't change it.
Good for you. What a great story of our community colleges and the community college sector in general, and how life-changing community colleges can be for students who then go on. You know, community college is an entry point.
Yes.
It's an entry point. It's not a less than entry point or a more than entry point. It's an entry point into higher education.
Exactly.
We talk to a lot of community college presidents about community colleges, and it's not like it's the 13th grade. It's not like, you know, you didn't make it at a 4-year, so you went to community college. It's a smart way to go to school.
It's extremely smart.
And you can save a lot of money and keep yourself out of debt, right?
Absolutely, yeah. That was a huge thing for me because I grew up and it was just me and my mom. And we were very poor and college wasn't going to be an option, but I wanted an education. I wanted to have a better life. And so for me, making sure that I had an option to go and live in the dorms and do sports and, you know, check out Netflix and see what it's like to be a student at TVCC. But,
exactly.
You know, I wanted those experiences. I didn't have the money. So community college was it. But I did feel a lot of pressure from my peers community college is less than, you're not as good as others, your degree is not going to mean as much. And here I am, only about 6 months out from earning my doctorate of education, and
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm
doctor.
Almost. And I'm 25, and I couldn't be more thrilled to be in this field and to help, ensure that students have access to futures like I did.
Oh, yeah.
What are you hoping to take away from this conference?
I've already learned so much. I had a session, the last session that I was just in was about kind of the direct admissions process, and that was pretty mind-blowing, and I'm definitely going to take that back and kind of revamp some of what we're currently working on at TVCC. So excited for some changes, but I'm mainly the connections. I got to meet my dedicated support person from Element and some other people that I've been having great conversations with the past 2 years, and that's so exciting.
I love it. Well, this is what it's all about, right? Being able to get together, do things, fun things while working, right? We're working.
Right.
This is work. Me and you,
work.
we just did about 20 minutes worth of work, and we iterated around higher ed, and be able to take those ideas, take them back to your staff, but take them back to the people who are your innovators and coaches within your university or college, and say, hey, look, this is what I learned. This is what we need to do. This is how we recruit more students, because we are going to have to do that to survive in higher ed. And we're glad to have leaders like you, Courtney, who are at the front end of doing that work. Anything else you want to say about Trinity Valley Community College before we let you go?
Hey guys, if you're listening.
You better be.
No, TVCC, like a lot of community colleges, especially those of our sister institutions in Texas, we have something really special to offer students. Community colleges in general are a great opportunity for those who are uncertain or don't think they can or don't feel like they fit into that university box. And I say there's no better time to start than now, and there's no better place to try than a community college.
Bullseye.
I was waiting to use that one. Ladies and gentlemen, the future Dr. Courtney Skiles, it's been an absolute honor to have you here. Ladies and gentlemen, there she is, Dr. Courtney Skiles, Director of Recruiting and Admissions at Trinity Valley Community College. Did you have a good time?
I had a great time. Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've just EdUp'd.